In this video, we are going to talk about 10 best inspirational stories to change your life. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. Motivation is the cause of a behavior's initiation, continuation, or termination in humans and other animals at a certain time. Motivational states are frequently interpreted as internal forces that produce a disposition to participate in goal-directed activity in the agent. Different mental states are said to compete with one another, and only the strongest state can determine behavior. This implies that we can be inspired to act even when we don't. Desire is the classic example of a motivating mental state. However, several other states, such as goals or views about what one should do, can also serve as motivation. The word motive, which refers to a person's needs, wishes, wants, or drives, is the root of the word motivation. It is the process of inspiring people to act in order to accomplish a goal. In the context of career aspirations, psychological factors influencing people's behavior may include a desire for money. The nature of motivational moods has been the subject of conflicting ideas. They are referred to as content theories, and they seek to explain the typical or constant motivations that drive humans. For instance, Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs and the ERG theory contend that specific human wants are what motivate us. Some of these requirements, like the need for food and water, are more fundamental than others, like the desire for other people's respect. According to this perspective, the higher wants can only serve as a motivator once the lower needs have been met. Without making explicit mention of conscious mental states, behaviorist theories attempt to explain behavior purely in terms of the relationship between the situation and outward, visible conduct. 1. Life is but a dream. A mouse was happy when it accidentally dropped into half a tank of rice. He ate the rice and promptly dozed off after making sure there was no threat. Such is life, and he spent some time eating and sleeping in the tank. But as life goes on, the rice quickly runs out, and eventually, he consumed all of it. Only then did he realize that jumping out was just a dream and that he had no control over anything. The moral of the story is that while life may appear to be serene, threats are actually all around us. 2. Looking at things from another perspective. The husband was chatting nonstop while the wife was preparing food in the kitchen. "Cooking slowly," he exclaimed. He warned, "Be careful, your fire is too big." A moment later, "Flip the fish over after removing it. Additionally, you used too much oil. I know what I'm doing," the wife stated as she turned to face him in frustration. "Of course you do, sweetie, but I just want you to understand how it makes me feel when you're behind me while I'm driving and you're chirping away." The moral of the story is that if you can see things from other people's perspectives, it is simple to learn to respect others. 3. Be the best that you can be. An elderly carpenter was about to retire, but his employer couldn't bear to let him go, so he was instructed to build a house before he goes. Even though he consented, the old carpenter's heart was already not in the job. He used subpar materials, and the house he created was among his poorest. The employer informed him that the house was his farewell gift to him once it was finished. When the old carpenter discovered that the mansion he had constructed was actually for himself, he was devastated and ashamed. The moral of the story is that we must always put ourselves first because we are doing everything in life for ourselves. 4. Let go. An elderly man lost one of his brand new shoes in a moving train. He threw aside the second shoe when the other passengers commented that it was a waste. The travelers were stunned. No matter how expensive a pair of shoes could be, the elderly man reasoned, "The other shoe is now worthless to me. Why don't I just throw the other shoe out so whoever picks them up would have a pair of shoes to wear and use?" The moral of the story is that it is preferable to let go of whatever is causing you misery in life than to continue to struggle with it and make yourself even more miserable. A better answer might be to let go. 5. Think for others. A young rabbit went fishing one day but came home empty-handed. He repeated the process the following day, but he was unsuccessful. The third time he went, a large fish leaped out of the water and yelled, "I will kill you if you dare use carrots as fish bait." The moral of the story is that you can only live in your own pointless universe if you use what you believe to be best for others rather than what others desire. 6. A merry heart is the best doctor. A doctor entered a surgery to administer cancer treatment to a patient. He was astonished to discover the tumor within the patient when he opened her up. As a result, he re-sewed her back together. The patient, who was from a small town, had trouble understanding when he tried to explain it to him and was adamant that he had been healed. The patient was sent home by the doctor because he was helpless to intervene. The patient returned to the hospital a year later, fully recovered. Instead of continuing his doctoral studies in medicine, the doctor is now pursuing a doctorate in psychology. Story lesson: the finest medicine is a happy heart. 7. Don't let a good opportunity slip by. A girl entered a coffee shop where a man was waiting for a buddy and inquired, "Are you the one that Auntie Wang advised for matchmaking?" The man turned his head, realized the girl was the woman of his dreams, and made the decision to cooperate. "Yes, kindly have a seat." They eventually got married, and he said that he wasn't doing any matchmaking that day on the wedding day. "Both of us weren't," the wife retorted. "Simply give me a reason to speak with you." The lesson of the tale is to never pass up an opportunity. Without second thought, grab it. 8. Don't envy others. Two tigers, one of which was in a cage and the other of which was roaming free. Both agreed that their current circumstance was unfortunate. Each took a liking to the other's predicament, and they ultimately decided to switch places. Both tigers passed away shortly after, one from hunger and the other from loneliness. The moral of the story is that we are never happy with our own circumstances, and we often feel jealous of others while, in reality, others are jealous of your circumstances. 9. Good, better, best. The female students were asked to vote for who among them they thought was the class beauty, or Xiao Hua. In her campaign speech, Xiao Mei, a girl of average looks, remarked, "If I'm picked, you can tell your husbands that you are beautiful than the class beauty while I was in university." She prevailed in the race. The moral of the story is that when people back you, it's not because they think you're better than them. Rather, it's because they think you've made them better. 10. Don't throw a stone at others. Mark Twain was conversing with the woman seated next to him at a dinner when he blurted, "You are so gorgeous." Out of politeness, "I'm sorry, but I can't say the same for you," the haughty lady said. Then, Mark Twain said, "That's okay. You might be like me, just tell a lie." The woman lowered her head in humiliation. The moral of the story is that even if you toss a stone, you're probably the one who will trip. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.